Hey everybody, welcome back to chapter 3 of the Coal Fork Run Junction-ish kit bash that has transformed into something different. But I probably should just keep the name on there and not change it until after everything is over with. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips here before I turn this off. And this really should have been in the last episode, but Dean showed up and I ended up talking to him while I was doing this, so I wasn't filming. So I went through and marked the new roof line and angle of everything. That's going to be on the like the admin section. I've also taken and removed the door that's going to be on the end, and this will be the probably the money shot in most of the photos. And I found these doors somewhere else, and I'm going to cut this opening so there'll be two doors here instead of one sliding door, and I'll have to fill this in and do a couple other things there to make it look better. I also went through and I added some notes, and like I'm gonna put some windows here because the windows stop and there's nothing here. So I think it'll look better with maybe a window right here, or maybe two windows about the same distance apart as this. So basically I'll go through and just draw those on and then cut them out. I also wanted another door on this side. This is I guess the truck side, the loading side away from the railroad tracks. This is the track side. So I took and I cut this door out, and I'll be adding this door right in here. Probably I'll make sure it's equal space because my OCD says that's the way it'll be. Another hint or tip, not a hint, but a tip is to basically what's it called? Goodness. I've already had my coffee this morning too and I can't think. Label every part so you know what is what. And I've done that on this side. So I put a DS on there. I guess for dock side, it really don't mean anything. It's just something different from track side. So this is all track side, and I just put DS on there, OS or whatever, to show that it wasn't on this side and not to get parts confused. And some of these are pretty obvious where they're going, so I didn't go to the trouble of putting an alpha or a bravo or a 1, 2, 3 on there. Everything's marked, so I know what everything is going to be and where they go. This is the end, this is the middle, and this is essentially the front. I'll go right there. But once you get everything labeled, that's when the fun starts, and you put your markings on there and your additions or your subtractions. The same thing goes if you're taking and removing doors and going to fill in spaces. But I just wanted to get to that point before I start the next step. And the next step, which I'm about to start working on now, is I'm going to start cutting these and getting them right. What I'll do is I got 3 of these to cut. I'll do 2 of them off camera, and I'll do the last one on camera just so you can see. And you never know, I might cut my finger. And there ain't no telling what's going to happen. But when I come back to the next video and I'm like this, I went to the ER. And things did not go well. So stand by. Next chapter coming up right now. All right. So I got these cut, and they look pretty good. It matches the roof lines quite well. You don't really have to get it exact. You just want to get it close. If you can see the black line right there, I don't know if there's a glare or not. But the black line is, the exact line. So what I'll do after I cut this one for you, I'll just go through and I'll sand it just a little bit. And on this one, since it's a middle, I went through and I tried my best to cut off the excess on each side. And since it's such a small amount, it didn't really work out too well. So I'll just sand the heck out of that. And then I'll do the same thing to this middle piece here, and it's mostly the angled section right there that needs to come off. So it's not too bad. Maybe a 32nd of an inch, maybe a 16th. I don't know. I don't really deal with fractions that small, but It's not too bad. I don't know if you can see the angle right there, but that's what we're shooting to remove. And I'll just sand that off, and I'll do a little bit of that on the camera, but then I think you get the point. I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence by showing you the blatantly obvious, but and sometimes, you know, you might have a new guy or gal that has never done this and, you know, want a little demonstration. So that's really what I aim my my videos for, is the newcomer to the hobby. And if you don't like that, then that's fine. If you're one of those experienced hobbyists, that's cool. We appreciate your input, but at the same time, you know, I'm trying to you know, appeal to everybody. And I think I do a pretty decent job. Now, I'm using this handy dandy Cobalt razor blade knife. Once again, let me remind everybody, I'm remodeling my house. So when I tell my wife I have to go get blades, she thinks I'm buying these because I'm doing drywall. Well, the drywall's done, but I still go out and buy a lot of stuff. And I'm happy with all these products. Now, I'm not endorsing Cobalt or anything like that, but these little flip knives, I had a lieutenant when I was in Afghanistan, and he had one of these, and it was absolutely awesome. You know, my knife, I had to, you know, worry about sharpening it and stuff like that. And he just brought a box of blades, and, you know, first time I ever learned anything from a lieutenant, but it was awesome. So basically all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scribe this line a couple of times, and I'm right in that sweet spot where I need the glasses, but I don't need the glasses. So I need the glasses to see the camera to make sure it's in focus. But if I have the glasses on, I can't see the damn line. If you're younger than 50, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. When you hit 50, shit goes downhill, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and it is frustrating. Oh my God, it's so damn frustrating. So my father's 73, and he's just telling me on the phone earlier, he goes, you know, I don't understand how last, you know, 3 years ago I felt great. All of a sudden, I'm old, and I feel like shit. and he doesn't censor anything, so that's a direct quote. And I was like, Dad, you know, I understand what you're saying, but I think you're doing pretty good for your age. You're in pretty good health, and, you know, just be happy with that. I mean, he's had a couple of cataract surgeries. My mom just had a cataract surgery. No, she's having a cataract surgery here soon, and it's rough when you get older. But I'm 53, and I remember being 33 and my dad talking about old people out there driving, and me thinking, Dad, you are the old people. But I understand a lot more that I don't feel old. At 53, I don't feel old. I still feel like I'm in my 30s, but I'm a lot wiser. I still do some dumb shit, though. Don't ask me how. But every now and then something will happen, and I'm like, why did I do that? That was absolutely stupid. Now, at some point, you can look on the backside and see where it's starting to come through, and you could probably bend it just a little bit. Anytime I try to scribe it and snap it, I always screw up the finished side that I'm trying to do, trying to keep nice. So I'll bend it just a little bit. That gives the blade a little bit more room to move, and I'll just keep going across until the blade cuts through. It's almost through. There's always a part where the blade sticks, and the blade starts sticking. That's because the plastic, I'm pushing down on it, and the plastic is bending up like this instead of, you know, opening up, if that made any sense with my hand gestures there. And that is a nice white line. I think I can snap it. I'm going to take a chance here and speed it up for the video. And there it is. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So I'm sure you get the picture. And that's not perfectly straight, but the sandpaper will take care of that. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and do the rest of this, because I don't really want to cut my fingers off on camera, because my wife will never let me hear the end of that. So back in a few. Thank you. All right, here's a quick tip. When you're sanding your edge, and this is the edge that you're trying to sand, and you're trying to make it even with this one, when you're sanding and you're holding your pressure down on this one, you'll see that the blue marks, you know, will match your stroke. When you start seeing blue down here where this piece is at, that means that you've met your line or your mark or whatever, and you're taking off a little too much. So that's where I'm at on this one here. It's pretty good. I've sanded all these on the other parts, and I'm very happy with them. I need to sand this one here just a bit more, and we'll get to the next portion of this build. Hello. Hi. So I have my assistant with me today. This is Akita. She has about 20 different nicknames. We've had her for a few months now. And she's out here to assist me because I left the train door open. My wife had surgery the other day. I think I mentioned that already. And I got the door open so I can listen for her to scream out my name when she needs assistance, or she will just call me. All right, so I went through and I've sanded all the tops on all the parts I just cut. I've also went through and narrowed the sides of these pieces that will be in the middle. And you can probably see this little part here that sticks out on the tops and how it's perfectly flat there. This one here had the angled sides because it was for the end, and I've sanded that down. You can see it a little bit there. But the true test is the calipers. So I got these calipers. They're kind of cheap. It used to be automatic, but the battery went dead, and I've just never replaced it because I don't really care. So all I'll do is I'll do a quick check, and we'll test this one. A little bit, needs a little bit more off of it, but honestly, that little bit is not going to make a difference whatsoever. That's perfect, and that's perfect. So I may or may not take a little bit more off of this because I really don't think it's that much. It's like maybe probably a thousandth of an inch. So I think I can live with that. I don't think you're going to see too much of a difference on there. Now this middle piece, I'm going to also cut down the side and across the top, something like this, so that when you look through the windows, it will all be open and not be separated by that wall. So that will be the next thing. I don't really think I need to show you that. You're probably pretty skilled where you can figure out what I'm going to do. Which, if you don't, I'll tell you anyway. Fuck it. Oh, excuse me. The heck with it. I'm just going to trace this, and that's going to be it. That's absolutely going to be it. I will probably take a little piece of... No, ma'am. Get down. You're not supposed to be up here. She's spoiled rotten, and that is a problem. So where was I? So, okay, so I'm going to cut this out. And I end up probably taking like a small piece of like a L-shaped, not like I-beam, but like L-shaped bracket, plastic bracket. I'm pretty sure Plastistructs, whatever it's called, has those. I will also trim off one of these little batten pieces here to give it a better surface to glue to for the, the piece to sit flush. And it will fit right in there, and it will also be able to support both sides of the point where it's being glued in at, and I think it'll be a lot better structurally for the model. I think that's going to be it for this video. I've done quite a bit of stuff. I actually worked on this about 3 hours. I'm not sure how many of these videos I've made so far or how long they're going to be. But off camera, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut the foundation out. And to make it the right height, I have to cut my 1x2.5 or 1x2 or 1/4x2. I don't even know what this is. 1/4 inch by, it's 1.5 inches wide by 1/4 inch thick. That will go underneath the concrete backer board to raise it up to the right height. And then I will glue that on there, and then I will take it all outside and paint it so that it's all the same color, and then weather it before I mount the building on top of it. I'll discuss more in detail in the next video of how I decide to mount the building onto the concrete backer board. It will probably be something very simple, so that way I can kind of maybe remove the building itself, leave the concrete down, and take some photos to make it look like time has passed and the building was torn down but the foundation is still there. I've done that with quite a few scenes that I've built. I don't glue down my buildings just for that reason. And the same thing with the trees. I will pull the short trees out, put in taller trees, and put in even taller trees, or take them out altogether to kind of show the passage of time. So if you like this video, go back and watch the other two if you haven't watched them. Go watch another video, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, come back here in a few days and see what I do next. Thank you all for watching.